Okay, so for this example, they're giving us a piecewise function, some different pieces around a value c, and they say it's continuous everywhere. So what is c? We see the answer is 3. How did we come up with that? Well, when a function is continuous, this is the key. This means continuous everywhere. It means continuous means you can trace the graph um, and you never have to pick up your pen, right? So like, say we had a graph and we had some kind of function, whoops, to change my color, we have some kind of function that does whatever. That's continuous. You never have to pick up your pen. Whereas let me give you one that's not continuous, or I'll just do one right in here. Well, here, I'll do it. Be better. So here's one that's not continuous. You went like that, and then it stopped right there, and then jumped down here and went back like that. That's not continuous because you had to pick up your pen to trace it, right? If you're tracing, you have to go here, stop, come down here, pick up your pen. Whereas this one up here is continuous. Okay, so what? Well, that means at some x value c, so I don't know what c is, that's what we're going to try to find. Let's say it's over there. I don't know, I'm just guessing. It's an x value, it's something on the x-axis, right? And it's saying that on one side of the graph, like over here, this is the left side of the graph because it's less than c. So over here, the graph comes in at some height, and then on this is greater than c. At the right side, so on the left side, you have this function, x squared minus 9. It's not what x squared minus 9 looks like, but whatever, good enough. And then on the right side, we have 6x minus 18, which is actually a straight line going up, but whatever, we'll just pretend. We don't really care. They have to meet at the same height right here. How do you know? Well, because it's continuous. They told us right here, this is f. F is a continuous function. That means at c, they're hitting at the same height. So that means x squared minus 9 is equal to 6x minus 18 at x equals c, meaning, oops, I just hit the wrong button. Meaning that when I plug in C right there and right there, xc, right, at C, those two functions are going to hit the same height. So that means c squared minus 9 is equal to 6c minus 18. I just plugged in c to both parts of this function, and they've got to be equal because it's got to be the same height from the left and the right to be continuous. So now I can solve for c. How do you solve that for c? Well, whenever you have a C square, so this is the important thing you need to know. It's going to come up a lot this semester in calculus and beyond. Whenever we have C squared or X squared or whatever, the game plan is step one, get 0 on one side. Step two, you can try to factor if you want with like double parentheses. Step three, you you can use the quadratic formula, the negative b plus or minus. Here, let me do this for you. The square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. It's or you can either factor or you can do the quadratic formula. This is called the quadratic formula. So you need to know that whenever you're solving an x squared or c squared equation, these are the steps. So let's do it. It's going to come up a lot, like a ton. So here we go. So I'll go c squared minus, what is it, 9 equals 6c minus 18. And again, step one, get a 0 on one side. So that's step one, get a 0. So how do I get a 0 on one side? Here's the wall of separation. I'm going to subtract 6c and add 18. So subtract 6c and add 18 to both sides here. And then what will I get? Well, these are both gone, and that gets me the 0, right? It said get a 0 Step one, get a 0. I did. What does this leave me? C squared minus 6c. And then what's 18 minus 9? Plus 9, right? And so step one, get a 0 on one side. Got it. Check. Step two, you can try to factor. Now, I know calcs, a lot of people don't like factoring. You do need to learn it, but you have options here. So I'll show both ways probably. This one does factor fairly easily. You could just come in here and go, okay, look, it's C times C. Remember FOIL? FOIL. Front times front to make C squared. Then last times last to make 9. That's going to be minus 3 minus 3. How do I know that? Because negative times negative is positive 9. Negative 3 times negative is positive 9. And they add, O and I, they add to be negative 6 in the middle, like that. And so, what do we do now? Well, that's C minus 3 squared. It's two of them, huh? And then you just go square root, and it cancels the square. And you go C minus 3 is 0. And we are one step away there. Now we just add 3 to both sides. Boom, C is 3. So C is 3. That's the answer they said up here. C is 3. That works. So I won't show the quadratic formula. Well, maybe I will. All right, I'll do it. So the quadratic formula, so here's how you, if you prefer the quadratic formula, here's how you do it. So we had it right here. I'll bring this over here. We had C squared minus 6C plus 9 is 0. So in the quadratic formula, we got the A, B, and the C. What are those? I think you know. There's a 1 here, that's A, because a B is the negative 6, and the C is the 9. I'm assuming you've seen the quadratic formula before. So negative B, so negative, right? It says negative B, and B is negative 6, so negative 6. Plus or minus, that's going to end up being positive, as you know. Square root of b squared, so that's negative 6 squared b squared. I don't like the way that came out. B squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. And so what do we get from that? We get two negatives, makes that plus 6, plus or minus. Let's bring that in here. Square root of 36 minus 36, right? 6 squared is 36. 4 times 9 is 36 times 1 is 36 over 2. So that's just, this part's just gone. It's just 0. So it's just 6 over 2, 3. And that's the answer we got the other way as well. So either way you want to do it, the answer is 3. C has got to be 3. 3 is the value of C. That'll make the left side and the right side have the same height. And so there we go.